Good evening and welcome to Forge 2.0. I'm your host, The Wild Man. This is my unparalleled co-host.
So is that my title every week now?
I think we're going to, unless I can find a better word for that, man. I kind of like that. Unparalleled,
Oh, I love it. I was
it's
just
good.
wondering. Just
Yeah,
wondering,
we
man.
might call it that.
Yeah,
I
all right.
I've been in the thesaurus all day today, all day yesterday. I went through, was a little late, had some issues with my laptop, had to do a bunch of math homework. I suck at algebra. Suck.
Who doesn't unless you're doing it fresh
I
off the
found a
brain?
math calculator, an app for a math calculator that's free that I can do my math on.
Sweet.
So, but yeah, I got everything other than that. I've been things behind the counter. I don't want to really let you in now. I told you a little bit about it, but I got some things working.
We'll tell them in the future when we get the ball.
Oh,
rolling.
yeah. No,
But anyhow, it's Tuesday, May 11th.
Yep.
Episode number 5, season 2.
Yep.
Yep. Dubbed Mental Health.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
So before we get, we tackle the topic there, we'll hit them with the quote from last week.
One could say I don't have it. What's that? Mental health.
All right, so the quote from last week was from Dolly Parton. If you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain.
That's right. Well, let me break it down for you. To get the good, you got to take the bad. Everything's got mixture of both in there. You got to just weather it out. Oh, you see what I did? A little wordplay, huh? I still like if you guys want the rainbow, taste the Skittles. That's a lot better than what Dolly said.
Yeah, but who's to go say the rain is bad? I enjoy rain.
So do I. Think it cleanses. I think it's just washes all the
scum off.
Shit.
Yeah.
Washes the shit right off of it,
Right down shit creek.
That's right. I haven't watched that show. Everybody tells me I should check it out.
Yeah, it's
With
pretty
what's
funny.
it?
I watched a few episodes.
Is it Lovitz?
Oh.
He's the guy from American Pie, the dad.
Yeah.
He's in it, yeah.
All right, so what we got over there? What's
Well, we
what
got
is
two aspects.
Mental health? Let's start with that.
Well, you could tell him that because I didn't write all that down. Like I said, I don't have it.
Well, we can tackle it two ways.
Yep.
Mental health.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about in the past depression, things like that. Mental disorders.
Yes.
I would
Yes.
say, which would be more mental unhealth.
Unhealthy. Yeah.
Unhealthy mental state. But also mental health is just, we always preach it over here, clear head. Whether you're getting enough sleep.
Yep.
Things
Get
like
ready.
that
Get
affect
right
your
in the
mental
hell.
health.
Do what you got to do to keep your mind working at its peak performance.
And why is mental health important to our podcast? Why would we even bring this up? For what aspect?
Because if you don't have proper mental health, or even if you're dealing with something, I'm a firm, solid roots in the ground. Exhaust every outlet before getting on the zombie pills.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand sometimes pills do work, yes. But I think we should exhaust the outlets, see if there's anything else, music, painting, DJing, doing something
Absolutely.
that can, help you to focus or maintain your thing.
When I'm down, throwing some tunes.
Yeah,
for real.
before we get into the zombies, so we can either learn to live with a mental disorder. Because I don't really want to say disability. Some people have said, "Oh, you can't talk this way or that way to them," because 9 out of 10 times those disabilities, if they're in the brain and whatnot, these people are smarter than most of the normal people. They just look at things in a different way. And most people don't have the patience to discover that way or see how they can reach them if they are able to. I think I told you the other day I was watching one thing about how a hamster or a guinea pig, scientists were using that for a mother whose kid had some kind of an autism, whatever, I forget the name of it, but it was like she wasn't able to touch her kid because all of his senses were so heightened, and she had to use the hamster, and it helped him, and it was finally one or 2 years
Kind of like
until
a
she was
dog
where she was able to finally hold her son without him just.
So it was kind of like a support.
Yes,
system.
definitely a support thing, and apparently they're furthering their studies in that. But
But let's not blur the lines of the two aspects of mental health we
No,
speak of.
no.
There's the mental disorders,
Yes.
which people are diagnosed with, but then there's the mental health that we all
Yeah, stress,
abide by every day.
jobs, working out, or you might be fat, or you eat differently than somebody else.
Yeah.
I know I did throw a lot of them on a
on the group page.
yes, our group page. I keep forgetting I call the group, the podcast group that we did. I threw a bunch of them on there, and I like the ones with the head that show like all the different things that are constantly in our minds, and it's almost a wonder why we all aren't just
So more precisely, the mental health that we're talking about in the later talks that we just had, it's more precisely what it isn't. What mental health obviously helps us get up in the morning and tackle our everyday projects or our everyday responsibilities, but the like I can't spit it out, dude. Today I'm a little tired. So if I come off a little zombie-ish today, it's because I got my second shot about 24 hours ago
Okay,
for
all
the
right.
vaccine. So
There you go.
I'm starting to feel a little bit.
yeah.
If I start to grow extra horn or an
Mine-
extra limb over here, now you know why.
Mine was the 5th. I was fully vaccinated. and the fi-
Vaccinated.
Vaccinated. Yep.
But it's the absence of what mental health. It's the absence of the things that we need to construct a good, healthy mind to tackle these and perform
And
at
be
such
able,
a high
well,
rate.
or new obstacles that may run up. I mean, your mental health's a little on the shady side. You may not be able to deal with something comes at you, and you might, instead of where you would normally think it through and then come up with a solution, something comes at you. If the mental health happens to be a little down, you may just react. We revert back to that primal and just.
So I mean, positive feelings and positive functions are a good state of mental health.
Yes,
like you have
yes,
a good, solid mental health. And
Believe it or not, working out is big up there too. Working out and meditation.
meditation, bro.
It's in there. It's in and it's funny how they do it. If you read, it's like, well, you can use it for this. It goes over here. It's got like its little devious fingers into everything.
Well, as I was looking into possible things, I was researching this week about mental health. I came across a couple illustrations that I thought were pretty cool, and it would explain, like you say, working out.
Yeah.
I seen this brain on a press bench, and it was working out. That's why it's important. It's working the most important muscle out in your brain.
Reading
your
books.
body.
Yeah, reading.
Yeah.
I found a little apps, little games you can get on your phone. If your mind like Tetris apps.
Yeah.
And I do those. Sometimes I'll sit there, oh, boom, boom, boom. Because you have to think. It's working out your brain.
Not only is it giving you, room to improve your thoughts and stretch out ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's working out your eye to hand coordination. You're visualizing something and putting the pieces together, and how quickly can you do that? It's keeping your mind sharp, basically.
And it's helping also. Now, some of you may know this. Well, I hope most of you do, especially since being that our town is a medical community, as it's turning into. But it helps to develop different neural pathways in your brain so that you use more of your brain.
Yeah.
So that you can figure things out faster. So you can figure, you just don't know one way. Okay, this way doesn't work. I've got 6 other different ways that I can figure that answer out. Let me boom, boom,
I think
boom,
it's the
boom.
average human uses only like 10% of their
No,
brain or
no.
something like that.
It's been upped now.
Has
I'm
it?
guessing with all the steroids and the crap in the food or whatnot, they said we use 20% of our brain. 20. So this was back in 2019. So after COVID, don't quote me. It might have.
Oh, I'm not.
What is
I just
it?
wanted to see here.
What's it
so
say?
according to a survey from 2013, around 65% of Americans believe that we only use 10% of our brain. This is just a belief.
Yeah.
But this is just a myth, according to an interview with a neurologist. And of course, it cuts off here. Hold on.
Sir, it does.
Yeah, the article cut off on me. So
It's all right.
we'll see what we got here. But as they stated, that's a myth. So
Yeah. Well, see,
something
because
that I believed was true forever.
I can't tell you the links. Well, that's what everybody thought it was 10%. And like I said, it wasn't until like 2019 where I read an article that said, no, we use 20%.
So
of our
this
brain.
neurologist, Barry Gordon, from Scientific American, he explained that the majority of the brain is almost always active. The 10% myth was also debunked in a study published by Frontiers in Human Neuroscience.
Okay.
So, for you that are listening out there in Forge Land,
Yeah.
that 10% of your brain usage is a myth.
Because I've also heard things too where they said we do use all of our brain, but we only use like certain parts of it at a time. We don't use the whole of it all at once
Yeah.
every time.
Because different parts of your brain activate different.
This is true.
Yeah, there's different parts for. So math is over here, and you know,
My
memories are over here. You know, it's a good good thing if you got children and you watch the movie Inside Out. That helps break it down. Like I watched it the other day with my daughter, and I was like, "Holy crap! This is like adults will get this," and I can't believe that they illustrate it so the kids kind of have an understanding. But as an adult watching it, it was like kind of.
Which one is that? Inside Out.
Inside Out? You got the little. So
like
it's
anger's
a girl
going
on the
mad.
outside, and then you got the little angry looking
Yeah.
guy. You
All
got
right. Yeah.
you got
I haven't
the
seen it
sad
yet.
one, the little green person. She's always sad, and when they activate a memory or something, whatever little individual or whatever little character they have for each feeling, they hit this little thing, and it activates. So it was pretty funny.
I'll have to check
It's
it
worth
out.
a watch if you got kids, definitely. So,
But
what else you got over there?
well, like I said, most of this I don't edit. I like to fly from the hip.
Yep.
Mental health has just been a big issue for me because of a big pusher of why, I got with DJ to start this podcast, about I was tired of seeing people stuck, dealing with issues here because they weren't right in the head or they felt stuck. Stuck. They were stuck and stuck.
The stuck
They were
mentality,
stuck.
the fixed
They
mentality.
were complacent. They were scared. They didn't think that they could succeed. Now I got with this, and as they say, and I'm sure it's actually picked up, and now I see it really all over the place. If your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. Now let me tell you, I'm still a student. I'm doing this. This scares the shit out of me. The other ideas that I told DJ about, it's all in. I'm ready. We're ready to go. I've got to look at a few things, but that scares the shit out of me. What I want to do with this and where it could potentially lead.
That's a good thing.
Oh yes, no.
Because
When you're
scared,
afraid,
that means that there's something on the other side. Ready
doing
for
something
you.
right.
You're
Yeah.
doing something out
I'm
of your
just like,
comfort zone. Yeah. You're not going
no.
to work. You're not putting in your 8 hours. Your typical stressed out daily workforce
I can't do
life.
that. Yeah, I see
get
it as
it, I
people.
get it.
Even with now, they're saying, and a big thing. I don't know if anybody out there knows who Jason Capital is. He was a millionaire at like 18 or 21. Made his first million doing like this stuff, online stuff, and then he's a multimillionaire several times over.
We've seen so many different people come up
have.
over the years.
But he's still over there and up around. If you follow like the public speakers he does out, and he does like a Tony Robbins thing, he does like that.
But
But
on his name after the podcast.
he says, "I didn't fail college. College failed me."
I heard that actually.
Okay, because the colleges, they're always geared towards, either your doctors or lawyers, they can make some. But it doesn't teach people stuff like this. It doesn't teach you taxes.
That's the same thing for school system, period. If they based school around kids' tangibles opposed to, just
This is
whatever
what
the
you need.
scholastics are for
Yeah.
the year, if they started basing that off of, obviously there's the general scholastics that everybody should know.
You need a base, a foundation, yes.
We do need to push for a change in our school systems, I believe. And none of this, this core crap. I understand
Jesus, don't
that,
get me started on
I
that.
understand that what they're trying to do, trying to get them to think more, trying to, they're trying to make their mental health maybe stronger. But actually, I think it's having a reverse effect, not on only the kids, but the parents. I had my kid home for a year learning, and we were at wit's end. He just went back. Hallelujah. He just went back, but I can already see the difference in attitude.
Oh, yeah.
I can see the difference in motivation. We weren't teachers. We were not cut out to teach him that. I was not good at school, but it was all the other stuff that I was good at. My tangibles were art, marketing, advertising, and stuff like that. I excelled in. Anything to do with art, music, I excelled in.
Yeah.
When it came to, math and English, I'm pretty good at English, but when it came to actually writing, who's to say that we're right or wrong? I always kind of had that, like, how can they grade what I say in my paper because what I say feels at
Right
home
to
with
you.
me?
Yeah.
I mean, punctuality, obviously the
Punctuation, yeah.
punctuation of everything. That I could see being graded
Mm-hmm.
properly, but the content.
Yeah.
Who's to say that you're wrong or I'm wrong, or how do you see it? How do I see it? It's all
Mm-hmm.
perception, I believe. So,
That's only with certain things.
yeah.
Okay?
So,
Listen, you can't. You son of a.
so what are some other ways that we can work out our brain?
Well, as we said, read books.
Have a healthy
What did I
brain.
just read? I read that if you read 10 pages, 20 pages a week or a day, 20 pages a day, that comes out to like 30 books a year or something. I read it. I don't know where the link is or what I was looking at, but I saw it. I might have seen it on
What's
the.
interesting is you got guys like you know what's Elon Musk,
Mhm.
and you got guys like Tony Robbins and all these guys that
And
achieve
Grazios. Dean
achieve so
Grazios is a new
much.
thing. Yeah.
And they released these statistics. I think you may have even sent me a little picture or whatever, and it said under each person Bezos how many books he reads,
Yeah.
how many.
Oh,
How
yeah.
much,
Yes, I did.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's amazing because they probably average a book a week, if
Probably.
not more. One of the guys was like a book every 2 days or something like that.
But these are different books now, mind you. These aren't like 300-page books. They're only like 40, 50-page books. That's it.
Yeah.
About what they're reading. Like, I'm going to butcher your name, buddy. Sorry. Robert Kibuyashi, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yep, yep, yep.
I've read his
I've
stuff.
touched the tip of the iceberg with that book.
Okay, yeah,
I plan on
he's-
reading it and
I
figuring it out.
read it when it first came out, and I got what he was trying to get through, and then I put it back down. It was at my parents', and then my stepfather gave it to me, and I was just like, I've never finished this. I read a couple pages,
Yeah.
and I got the whole gist of the book for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, I know there's got to be something. I mean, I see him all over the place now.
It happened to be one of the top 5 books
Oh, it is.
when I searched, what books, good reads for improving yourself. That was up there.
It's still in the top 10 or
Excuse my
top
language.
20.
Unfuck your brain.
Yeah.
Unfuck
Yeah.
yourself, or one of those. That was one of the top ones.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, it's a huge. It's like a 12-step, big, huge.
Hey, they say
program to
people that
follow.
use swear words are more creative than people that don't.
They do.
There's science behind it, baby.
You fuckers
Science.
that are home that are hating on us because we're swearing, crawl back into your holes,
You fuckers.
cover your ears.
Yeah, put the cotton
No,
balls in there.
but to kind of put this into reality, my 95-year-old grandmother has read a book almost a day for as long as I can remember, and she is sharp as sharp can be. I mean, she's starting to lose the short-term memory a little bit.
Yeah.
But she is sharp as sharp can be. She could tell me a story from the 1930s
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was yesterday. And
Yeah.
it amazes me, to sit down with somebody that experienced that life and
Yeah.
to hear, just
The detail.
she rattles
she
off.
could tells
Yeah,
you
exactly.
everything that happens.
Exactly.
Yes. It's funny. I'm like that. 'Cause my mother just started going to a speech therapist
Mm-hmm.
because she is, she's losing her mind.
Aren't we all, bro?
I lost mine.
We are.
I lost mine. But she was making a joke about it. I was like, why are you going to see a speech therapist? I go, don't you know? She goes, I don't know how to talk. I'm losing my mind. I was like, okay, ma. But it's funny with a lot of the things, like they don't remember from my childhood. It's like, you don't remember this? And I can down to the detail.
Yeah. Well,
So-
sometimes it's certain things. I mean, it could even boil right down to smell,
Mm-hmm.
to a song.
Yeah.
Like it makes you remember things. You attach memories to these things, and obviously they were at a point where they weren't attaching.
They weren't
They were
attached.
probably frustrated and wanted to kick our ass and punish us and do whatever.
Because
else they
I
had
bring
to
up
do.
a story we used to talk. I was like, I remember when I was 2 and you had this blue bathtub. It had holes in it, so I couldn't drown it. And they used to put it in the sink and give me a bath in the sink. And this little blue bathtub. You don't. And there's been glitches sometimes. You remembered it? Yeah, you don't remember that. Look, I've never
fair.
seen a picture of me. I remember when I was 2.
I can't remember anything probably earlier than the age of 4 or 5, and if I do, it's a very, very vague memory. Maybe a setting or something around me.
Yeah, I remember we had the wooden blocks that we used to play with, the just bland white blocks or the Lincoln log. That's what we used to do for fun. But anyways, we digress. Back onto the health.
So we were talking about losing our mind, and many people know what dementia is.
Yep.
And I'm reading here that some of the most important things to do to reduce the risk of developing that health issue that leads to dementia is eating properly is the biggest one.
Yeah.
So,
And that's hard nowadays because speaking of which, I was talking over with Mom. I was like, I can go buy a burger for $1, or you can buy a salad for $5.
yeah, it's crazy, right?
Now, granted, I'll take the bread off the burger and just eat the meat and the
You
cheese.
could get a sweet iced tea for $1.
But still,
But a bottle of water costs $2.50.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or or a large Coke, no ice, costs 99 cents at Mickey D's right now.
Yeah, man. But yes, just some the following for foods promote brain health. Fruits and veggies, we all know that.
Yeah.
Anything with dark skins
Really?
that are rich in vitamin E, such as spinach,
Oh,
broccoli,
okay.
blueberries.
Yeah. Which aren't blue; those are purple.
Yeah, but
No, I was watching that.
they all promote good brain
Okay.
health.
All right.
Oily fish, obviously.
Yeah.
You've heard of fish oil pills. and
Omega
things like that.
3s, omega 6, I think is the new thing.
Tuna, omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah.
Walnuts and pecans, they're rich in antioxidants, which promote brain health.
Yep.
So those are a couple ways. You touched on exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise regularly.
Yeah, that does good stuff for you.
Just the cardiovascular activities such as walking. 30
Well, you feel
minutes a day
better.
could reduce the risk of brain function declining. So you're getting more oxygen. It's basically
Okay,
more oxygen
declining,
to the-
declining.
more
I was like,
oxygen
why
to
are
the
you
brain.
reading it? Do cardio and it reduces your brain function.
Well, if you don't do it,
No,
it
the way
risks-
you said it
yeah.
at first, I heard if you work out, it reduces your brain function, and then you said from declining. I was like, oh, okay, we gotta wait till you finish.
And again, to touch down on why this is all important on bettering yourself, is you need to have a clear mind.
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna go right back to meditation, bro. Like the more you can organize your life, and the more you can clear your brain, the more you can have that brain function at a top rate. It's like a PC, a computer. You clean it out. The more you clean it out, the more you service it.
There you go. I start busting your
Dude,
chops
that
about
vaccine has got me a little tired of
He
it.
says, "I'm gonna you."
Yep,
What?
yep.
Yep. What are you doing?
And I'm trying to stop saying too.
That's good.
So
Like I said, I read a book, and it was after I had listened to a professor at a college do that, and with the uhs and the ums, and they tell you when you say something, and to take a breath.
yeah.
Take a breath instead of
saying,
yeah.
Take a space.
Because
take a
when you
little
say
breath.
that's your brain trying to jump to that next thought that you had.
Yep.
You know?
So I have over here. We were talking about keeping the brain active, right? A recent study conducted over 10 years found that people who use brain training exercises reduce their risk of dementia by 29%.
Yes.
So that's huge.
But the only thing with that, and I've looked, believe me, since I got my phone, the smartphones, well, probably what? Let's say i4. And when you were able to play the games, I try and I go on, I look for the brain games that train your brain.
Yep.
I don't really like the fact that you can do one brain or two brain training things a day, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to be on it for like an hour and still be free. After one a day, you got to pay for premium to be able to do more. I don't like that.
Oh, that's their way of getting rich, bro.
I understand that, but at the same time, you got to think, you know what? If people can get on for an hour and play for free, maybe they'll buy so they can play longer because they can actually get to really. All right, one thing. Okay, cool. Another
They're
thing.
banking on people being tested. So people that want to actually improve are going to pay for it. People that are just like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
They're just going to go.
That's why I jump around on different games, or I play just different things where I actually have to. That's another reason, like when I play certain video games or the Kung Fu movies, but if I play video games, it's always where I have to figure something out, like the role-playing game. I don't read the instructions. I figure out what I got to do, and then, all right, what do I do this? How about I do like over
That's
here?
just kids from our era. because
Yeah,
we
it's
didn't have
like, let me figure this out. Let me use my brain. How can I beat this guy? Well, if I can jump off here, boom, throw this, hit this, boom. Oh, I got him.
I was always pretty much an advocate for. I'm biased because I play video games, but growing up, we always had that video games will rot your brain.
They
And
said
I used
that,
to
yeah.
always argue the point because To me, video games kept my brain sharp. You had to read.
Hand-eye coordination,
You had to read. You had hand-eye coordination. There were strategies. You
reflexes,
had to figure stuff out, puzzles,
yeah.
all the above. I mean, that was
Yeah.
definitely something that probably kept my brain active.
I think maybe we should do. I just came to this idea. We could do an episode in one of those rooms that you have to escape rooms.
Yeah.
Where you have to solve. That would be awesome.
It would be awesome, but we wouldn't be doing much talking because we'd be trying.
Well, we do. They'd just be watching us. We're trying to escape.
Chime in at home.
That's
if you
right.
Got some ideas.
If you got someone else, we'll do it live. Check the shelf.
Turns
The
into
other
an episode
shelf.
of Saw.
Yeah. You want to play a game? Oh hell no! I'm going through this wall.
So since we're debunking myths here,
yes, let's debunk some
let's
more.
debunk something else. Many believe that a person either uses left or right side of the brain. How many of us heard, "Oh, right side, you're more creative. If you use your left side, you're more logical."
You use both of them, don't you?
You do.
Oh.
Researchers suggest that this is also a myth. People are
Wait.
not dominated by one brain hemisphere or the other. A healthy person is constantly using both hemispheres.
Yeah,
So there you
because
go.
like if like math's on one side and then art's on the other.
So if it is true, the hemispheres have different tasks. For instance, a study in PLOS biology discussed the extent to which the left hemisphere is involved in processing language and the right is processing emotions. So
Gotcha.
I mean,
Because my math section went to vacation.
mine did when I was born too.
Yeah, mine's been gone, dude. I can't. I
So,
don't understand.
A
I
good
don't know.
friend of mine, when we used to roll together, he was the math guy.
Okay.
And he'd crack jokes. Man, you can't figure that. He could see me over there. You're lost in thought trying to figure it out. Yeah. And then he was the opposite when it came to grammar.
Yeah.
He couldn't spell worth a damn. And I'd be like, damn, dude, what? You can't spell door? What the hell's wrong with you? D-O-R. Okay, so alcohol in the brain. Long-term alcoholism can lead to a number of health problems, including brain damage.
Yes.
So while you're out there thinking you're having fun, enjoying a nice alcoholic beverage, it's just good once in a while, kick your feet up, let loose.
Yeah.
But you're also poisoning your brain, and it's affecting the developmental.
And not just your brain, your liver. There's all kinds of functions. Even though, yes, they do say drink some wine, that helps your brain. But moderation. Okay? Moderation. Just because, so the doctor says it was okay. That's not a, all right, a bottle or 2 bottles a night. No, moderation. A couple glasses, there you go. Just take the edge off. And then I've been doing more, not so much meditation. I've been looking into it. I tried not so much, but I've been looking at things to meditate too. And I know I can't do rain because rain knocks me right out.
There's so many different levels.
I know, but I'm trying to find something. Some of those noises, though, it'll do it. And then I'm like, all right, and I start to get in the zone. And then you're a ding, and I'm like, oh, mother.
The medication bell. It's
like,
you right
come
out
on, I was almost there. I was gonna attain enlightenment.
Again, it's the easiest thing to do. And to be honest with you, my experience is you have to start with the breathing ones, the ones that are based only upon your breathing. So the more you pay attention to your breathing, it doesn't allow for other thoughts to enter your brain and go. That's usually the problem with meditation is you're trying these meditation workouts and it's just not working because your brain starts thinking of something and it starts to escape and one thought leads to another and then next thing you know you're thinking about who knows, you're thinking about the Sandlot you grew up on. You know what I mean? That's
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Smalls.
You play ball like a girl.
Nowadays that'd be a good thing.
Oh, you ain't lying. I mean, I've watched them. Holy hell.
The way they whip that.
They whip that
arm around,
softballs like,
yeah.
God, imagine her punching you in the nuts. Oh, you're done. Done for. I don't understand it, man. But anyways, listen. Listen. What are you going to say?
I wasn't going to say anything.
Again,
we're shooting from the hip from this episode.
Yeah, yes.
And we're not professionals.
No.
We're shooting some statistics out.
We're not doctors.
We're just trying to
Although
open
it'd
up
be
some
funny
doors.
if I was.
To anybody who's listening out there, and if
Yes,
you are
listen.
listening, we're really just trying to open the doors of trying to better oneself.
We're trying to show you the
mental
path.
Mental health is high on the priority list.
The path of a better version of yourself. We're going to start doing some more things. I got some more things in the pipeline that I'm shooting a DJ, and I think we're going to start doing it. I'll throw you out a little thing. I think we're going to start doing, I've been looking around and I saw it somewhere and it was catching me. And I think we're going to do like little commercials and put them on the podcast group. Are you feeling down? Are you feeling this? Well, come on down to Forge, you bastard. I've been looking at some things going in just other ways that we can reach people to, because what I'm seeing right now, the world, the balance is shifted. And just stuck and being scared and not thinking you can succeed and not thinking, what's the big one with the females that I keep seeing, where either they're told it or they're being told by their friends or bullies or their parents, you're not worth it. You're not enough. You can't do this.
How about this reverse health thing that's going on where it's all right to be obese? Have you seen or heard anything about that?
I've heard about, I've seen that, and it's one thing to celebrate or make normal. Okay, if you're big, but not healthy. If you're not healthy, I've known big people that were healthy. Believe me.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of athletes that you see out there that are.
There's
doing
models
things.
that are bigger, but they're healthy. Yeah. But being overweight, obese, and you're killing yourself.
But I'm just saying how you said it has shifted. And,
it's definitely.
There's this culture that's taking over that are accepting
the wrong
things, and they're putting it back out into the universe like it's okay.
They say it's okay to not be able to get off your couch. Fuck it's not.
Talking down on people who are obese,
No, because I'm level 1. I'm level 1 obese.
Some people, unfortunately, their body is wired differently, and they gain weight at a quicker rate. Was it the thyroid or whatever? Thyroid issue.
That's one of the issues. Yeah, it stops.
There's diabetes. There's all types of stuff that lead to these things, but people are being brainwashed to the fact that they're accepting the negative
as just that's what it is. Yeah,
and they're turning around and saying, "Oh, it's okay. It's okay to lift people's spirits by doing that, but you can also lift it by saying, hey." Let's get out there and get healthy.
Yeah, this is going to hurt you in the long run.
Yeah.
That's what I was just watching old episodes of Gabriel Iglesias, and he was going through the same thing. He said he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He had 2 years to live. And he was saying that Martine calls him on his crap when if he's going to get something that he shouldn't be eating, and he'll wait till he waits till I get about 15 feet from the food, and he's like, really, bro? Really? You're gonna put that in? You're gonna put your mouth on that? You're gonna look what you're doing to your body. Have some self-respect, man. He's killing me, and because he was told he has 2 years max to live, or if you don't change anything.
It's sad that people have to get to that point to, like we talked about last week with our guest Jess. She said it usually takes most of us to hit that bottom to want to turn around and change.
That's terrible.
And that's why we do this podcast, because we're trying to catch people before they hit the bottom. Yeah. And if you did hit the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. No, in a sense.
Yeah, I hit the bottom when I was 9.
Just don't.
Not the bottle. I hit the bottom. But I was going through some different things, and that's one of the.
We all need to notice in one another is stop the judging. Yeah. We all have faced adversities. We have all faced problems that none of us know.
No, truly, no, because we're not those people.
Skin deep, you know what I mean? Because you see people, you think you know people, but you don't. I mean, there's friends that I knew my whole life that they never spoke about their unfortunate, upbringing until later in life, and I had no idea. Yeah, you never have an idea what people are going through, so stop judging, man.
What do they say? Don't judge me based on a chapter of my life you walked in on, because you don't know the whole story. I was like, I like that. That's clever. I like that.
All right,
that's
so
good stuff.
What else can we add to mental health? I mean, we've kind of talked about what it is.
Yeah, what it is.
We've talked about some of the things that could be, bad for it.
I'm not ruling out and telling you not to go see a doctor, because I don't want you to try to sue me because, Wildman said don't see a doctor. No, I'm exhaust the possibilities. Whatever outlets, there's music, there's painting, there's photography, martial arts, there's simple things. Going to see a movie. I don't drink very often. I might drink maybe once every other 2-3 months, maybe. Or unless it's like a party or something. But even so, how I deal with my frustrations, Kung Fu. I watch Kung Fu shows. Play a little bit of Street Fighter, whoop some ass.
So what would you tell some of the people out there as far as, because it is Mental Awareness Month?
Yes.
How can you bring awareness to if your mind is not healthy? What are some of the indicators?
That's a big one. I mean, it depends on the person and what they think that they might have. Certain things could be a trigger. My big thing is sometimes it's easier to just talk to a complete stranger than it is your friends or your family. Because your friends, if they, a lot of the times, not always, but a lot of the times, you wrote something like this too. It's okay to level up as long as you're leveling up. Adheres to what they want to do. The minute it strays away from them, people are like, "Oh, you're just trying to be. You think you're better." No.
Sometimes, or it's something that person doesn't see as beneficiary to themselves.
Yeah.
So they cast shade on it because they think that it's just goofy, or they think it doesn't fit.
Because they're too scared to try it themselves, and they're stuck, and they want
to try anything.
Usually, that's true. But there was a big thing like that suicide helpline that they have. I think they should have it for like a mental thing, like where people need somebody to talk to. Strangers that come provide a different aspect, a different perspective on things, and maybe they can say something. You'd be like, "Huh, you got a point there." Now, granted, like I said, we're not doctors. These are all just opinions. A lot of the things that we talk about, everything we talk about here, are ways that we deal with things. A lot of them are ways, like I said, my mind is completely...
For the people that didn't see that at home, I don't know what he was doing. He was like doing that little dance with the pole and the little banner that they do in high school. He's doing that with his fingers.
But, I look at things at a different... Oh, here we go. This is how we do it,
Different
okay?
perspective.
Most people look at things like this, okay? And everything. When I look at something, when I open the door and I go out into the world or even just in the house, I look at things, it's like this. I look at the whole perspective. I look at all the good things. I look at all the bad things. And I can see all this before I make my first move.
So these are a few questions that psychologists would ask.
Okay.
For pinpointing whether your mind is well-being or it's ill-being.
Okay.
Right? So that's how they put it. These questions looked at feelings of anxiety, distress, motivation, and energy, the absence of negative feeling of ill-being, and things like that. So these two questions are something around what they would ask you.
Okay.
Could you tell me anything over the past few months that you've been bothered by low feeling, stress, or sadness?
Okay.
So obviously, someone that's not mentally healthy, they're going to look at depression, anxiety, these disorders and things. And are these affecting you on a daily basis, or are these affecting you from escaping that stuck mentality, that fixed mentality? The second question they ask is, how frequently have you had little pleasure, or interest in the activities you usually enjoy? So this is usually... Oh, that's funny.
I put a chip in. I almost started just chewing in the microphone.
Of course you did. But so loss of interest in things, that is a
of
really,
normal things that you normally like, not just
TV. Whether you watch TV, you hike, whatever it may be. For instance, when we were at the height of the pandemic, and I lost a few friends, and I was grieving, and I was down and out, I did not touch my DJ equipment for probably 2 months. I had no desire. I had no push. There was nothing that made me want to get behind there, and I had just had a loss of interest. So I hit one of these psychology pages, the groups that were on Facebook, and I asked, I said, what's going on with, why, because there's a lot of MDs in there giving good, and then there's just Joe Schmoes in there giving their way in, like us, exactly. No degrees, but life experience. You can ask anybody anything. You might get a question, an answer that you've been seeking,
or at least another perspective
and
of it.
somebody was actually telling me, you're not only depressed, you might have clinical depression.
Oh.
And because of the loss of your friends or because of this or that,
Mm-hmm.
it drove you into that state of mind.
Mm.
Because you start questioning things on a normal daily basis, like what's life? Why did this happen to
It's
them?
42.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so those are good indicators of
Yes.
whether you're mentally ill or, on the path to becoming better. Those are things you need to start looking at. So.
Yes. Yes. So in the long run, listen. Play games with your brain. Keep it sharp. Read books. Always keep it going, because another thing along with the brain, if they say once you stop using it, it just stops working. You know?
Find things to build your confidence levels, your
Yeah.
self-esteem, feelings that allow you to be capable to do the things that you enjoy doing. Go seek out counseling if you feel that you're mentally ill. If you cannot, if
Mm-hmm.
you can't get a grasp on what the heck's going on. Usually people are scared to reach out, or people are scared to get third-party ideas to why they're feeling and thinking the way they are, because they're ashamed or embarrassed, or they just think they're the only one like
Yeah.
that, or whatever it may be.
Yeah, you're never alone, ever.
No, no.
And just
And
go online. Talk to people online. Are you kidding me?
don't turn to alcohol. Don't turn to
No.
substances that pretty much turn you to zombies to alleviate your pain, because there's so many methods out there. Start simple. Do the meditation. Let's see where that takes you. If meditating's not for you, go see counseling. If counseling's not what you're looking for, go talk to people who are successful, the type of people that you want to emulate. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? So that's my
DJ
take
is
on
going to
it.
become a monk in his spare time. That's why he's selling the meditation. So
I haven't started wearing orange yet.
no, that's a Shaolin monk. Those are some dangerous. Ooh,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
And
But
I came across something about the flower. I'm gonna have to look that up and revisit that and bring
which
it.
flower are we talking about?
The lotus flower.
Oh, I was thinking of another
And
flower.
the significance of the lotus flower and why monks use that as one of their.
Like a symbol?
Yeah, if you
Okay.
ever notice, lotus flowers are something they're always taking care of, or like the bonsai trees, they're always primping and taking care of these
Yeah,
things. There's
I
there's
really never thought there was a reason
behind
behind each one. My thing, to my understanding, was always just everything has life, and life is everything. And I've watched enough and looked at enough. It's just, but that's about all we have for our show. We're gonna hit them with the.
I mean,
This is a shorter episode. We're trying to get a little shorter for you attention span seekers.
I do want to talk about that. Dial back because I just brought it up.
Dial it back. Pull it back.
The
Hold
lotus
on.
flower is regarded in many different cultures, especially in Eastern religion, as the symbol of purity and enlightenment, self-regeneration, and rebirth. Its characteristics are a perfect analogy for the human condition, even when the roots are in the dirtiest waters. I do remember reading about that. The lotus flower is one of the most beautiful flowers known. If you ever seen a monk at an
Yeah.
airport handing out the lotus flower, that's what they're trying to.
I've seen them.
They're trying to tell you that, hey, this flower came from the muckiest of all waters, and look how beautiful it is. So essentially, it's casting the light on, you could come from difficult times, you could come from broken family, you can come from the murky water,
Yeah.
and you can grow into a beautiful flower. So
Or if you want to take that another way, you could be the lotus flower. So it doesn't matter what you're going through. You can rise up. You can succeed. You can be a better version of yourself. Ooh, I
That's
like
what
that,
we-
don't you?
that's
You
what
like
we
that?
preach
Yeah,
around.
baby.
all right, we're gonna move on to the podcast shout outs for
Yes.
the week. We will start with Laughing on the Inside, a podcast on Anchor. I have a comedy podcast called Laughing on the Inside. Bits, jokes, stories, all with comedic Ben. Usually drunk, but always opinionated. Usually drunk. That's
Okay.
pretty cool. I sometimes say inappropriate things, but it's all worth it for the comedy. So come join me at Laughing on the Inside, a podcast on Anchor. Next one, What the Dice. What the Dice on .podbean.com. 4 nerdy friends doing a homebrew TTRPG. I don't know what that is. 3 nerds with different careers come together to tell a story, found on all major streaming sites, but posted at whatthedice.podbean.com. Haunted Historian. The Haunted Historian, a podcast on Anchor. Hi, The Haunted Historian is a narration-style horror podcast that uses listener stories as well as classic horror tales. Next one, Land of the Creeps is a long-running horror podcast that reviews movies and is interactive with the audience. Land of the Creeps.
I saw Night of the Creeps 1 and 2.
That's
That
a
was
movie.
weird. Yeah, yeah.
Landofthecreeps.blogspot.com. Next one, DJMano.com cast. Street Rage Radio episode 25. It doesn't really give a breakdown of what that is, but that's a podcast on apple.com.
Okay.
Next one is biopics, mostly in parentheses, suck podcast. Biopics suck podcast.
Okay.
It's got the word mostly in parentheses, so not all of the biotopics suck, apparently.
Oh, all right.
At Biopics Mostly Suck, we took the true story behind movies based on true stories. We rate the films for entertainment and for the truth and talk about what really happened. That's kind of cool, though, actually.
Yeah. I like that.
That's a great idea. And the last one is the Bear and the Beard podcast. We are a nerdy discussion podcast. We talk about just about anything and everything. That's why our slogan is just two nerdy guys talking nerdy things. Stay awesome, stay bearded, and much love.
Stay bearded.
You can find that at podcast.apple.com. So that's our pod shout-outs for the week.
I think I was told yesterday or today, that bearded people seem more approachable.
I wonder why that is.
No.
I see
Versus
a
like
bearded
clean
Viking
cut
guy. Well, maybe because they see a clean cut guy being super successful and being super brainy or being super,
or it might
whatever
be a
he got.
psychopath or whatnot.
Yeah,
or,
like
or
American
he's
Psycho,
like,
Christian Bale.
Or he's like he's abusive or whatnot. But they see, this big bear, and they're like, oh, I don't know.
Whatever.
He don't ever starve.
I got a beard, so approach me all you want.
That's right. That's what I said. I want to be approachable.
I do too.
Come to, I think there was a couple people on the podcast that were asking questions. I was like, go ahead, engage. Sometimes, like I said, talking to a stranger is easier than talking to somebody,
All right, we got a full house moment or no full house?
No,
moment?
not today. No,
It's kinda-
nothing.
It's pretty much full house moments.
Yeah, this was just, just look out. And don't be afraid if you're dealing with some kind of mental health. Don't be afraid to talk about it.
Don't be afraid to ask.
No, especially if it's
we're
your
very
kid.
approachable because we have beards. So approach us on social media, and we'll give you a little boost. We'll give you a
Especially
little
if you
moral boost.
have kids. Don't be afraid to talk about it.
Exactly.
There's another thing along to do that. We'll get in with another episode about with the kids and all that. So,
all right. So, quote of the week.
Quote of the week.
We're gonna hit you. The strongest people are those who win battles we know nothing about. It's kind of just tying in with mental health.
Strongest people are those
who win battles we know nothing about.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
talk about that next week.
Yeah, we will.
So it's been a nice, short, breezy episode. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
Our non-professional take on mental health.
That's right.
I like to believe my mental health is in a good state right now, minus the vaccine that I took. It's got me tripping over my tongue.
I can do this.
But I think it was a pretty good episode. A little informative.
Yeah.
A little informative.
I think we're gonna also start at the end of each episode. Starting next episode, we're gonna give you just a little, next week on Forge 2.0.
What is next week's topic? Do you know?
Better version, because I jumped the gun, as everybody saw on the podcast. Because DJ put something out there, I was like, "Ooh, this is just right in line with what's going on." And then he was like, "What about mental health?" Damn, it's right.
It was one of those topics we did not want to talk about, but it's imperative. It's important.
It is.
It's
and this, like I said, especially with this being Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah, it kind of fell in line.
And I've been seeing in a lot of different threads on Facebook in general about people are just afraid to talk about mental health. Yeah. Especially when it's to deal with their kids, and a lot of people have just been hating on it like the
It's
not
nothing
everybody,
to be ashamed of. It's definitely.
And dads, take a minute. I know there was a big talk about a lot of dads don't know how to deal with their kid having some kind of mental issue. Whatever your kid wants to do, if some kind of mental issue, love them. I saw another one too. An Army sergeant. Just to recap real quick, an Army staff sergeant, or he was an E9. He might have been a first sergeant. Comes home for the first time to see that his son had like a change.
Mm-hmm.
She is now, or he dresses. I mean, I don't know what it's called, but now he's a woman. I think he's transitioning, and the son thought, or the daughter thought that the dad wasn't, and the dad just fell to his knees and gave him a big hug, and she lost it, and it was like, this is great.
Yeah.
It was all the, the guys, in the military, they're not going to take it, and he was just like, you're my daughter, son, whatever you want to be called or whatever you want to be, I'm going to love you. Help your kids, be there for your kids. There's my Full House moment. Don't be a dick, because then you got guys like me who will go past my brand name and punch you in the chest if you make your kids feel like shit because of what their choice is.
And I will be the first to say that I think our country is failing at parenting.
Yes.
Very bad, and that's why we're seeing the amount of violence, that we're seeing the amount of suicides, we're seeing the amount. This is all stemming from bad structure. And
not even bad structure. There is no structure. There's no structure at all. It's gone out the window.
People are clouding it all with politics and religion, and it starts at home.
It does.
You want your kids to treat everybody the same. Yeah. Start at home. Teach them how to treat their neighbor. Mm-hmm. Next step, teach them how to treat
themselves. This. I understand with the self-love and all that. Yes, true.
That's why I make sure I tell my kids I love them at least 5 times before I tuck them in at bed at night.
There you go.
They need to know that they're loved, even though I yell at them and they hate me because of it. But one day they'll learn, just like I learned and you learned. So, all right, guys, that's our episode for the week. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.
Peace. Later.